Hi everyone. Welcome to Stampin' Peace with Mary Knabe, coming to you from Columbus, Ohio. It's been a beautiful day here. A little chilly, but we did get to low 60s, and you're seeing my kind of windblown look. My friend Donna Bennett came over with her husband and her daughter and their two dogs, and we went for a walk. And I said, I can't talk after the walk. We can only talk during the walk because I got a Facebook Live that I need to get ready for. But I'm so glad she asked me to walk. And it's always more fun to do that with other people. So I see lots of you on here tonight. Let's see. Hi, Joan and Vicky, Shar, Mary Lou. Mary Lou, thanks for sharing. Sharon Van Winkle. And I see people still jumping on, which is wonderful. While we're waiting for people to jump on, I'm just going to give you a reminder about my latest class to go. And that class to go features the Flowers of Friendship bundle. And this has a coordinating punch. So the bundle is $35. And these are the cards that you'll be making with that class to go. And they all have a friendship theme. I use Flirty Flamingo and Old Olive. This one is actually one of two fun fold cards you'll make with that class. And then you'll also make the easel card. So you'll make two each of these 4 different designs for a total of 8 cards. You will receive the Flowers of Friendship bundle, both the stamp set and the punch. You'll get a package of pearls with that as well. A PDF tutorial, includes shipping to your home, and that's $58. I also have the option if you want to purchase a PDF tutorial only, or if you just want to do the card kit without the bundle and the pearls, you can do that as well. Let's see. And of course, we have our ongoing Stampin' Up! Promotions. Hosts get an extra $25 in Stampin' rewards, as do people with a $250 qualifying order. And if you don't want to spend that much, I suggest you join my Stampin' Up! Family, the Merry Stampers. We are all about sharing, just having fun, learning stamping techniques together, sharing card ideas and paper crafting projects. So I would love to have you purchase our Stampin' Up! Kit, which is 100% customizable. You choose exactly what you want in that starter kit. You pay $99 plus tax. It ships free. And normally you would choose $125 a product, but this month only, Stampin' Up! Is giving you an additional $30 of your choice of product. So $155 of product, $99 plus tax, no shipping cost to you on the starter kit. So it's a great deal. And then you would be part of my Merry Stampers Facebook group. We have creative challenges and different things. And hopefully with summer coming, we'll maybe start some in-person events again, some meetings, some kind of gatherings, swaps, things like that. So a lot of fun on my team, lots of sharing, great friendships. So please consider that. For today's project, it's a card, and we're going to just design as we go along. And well, I'll show you in the catalog first. On page 47 is the Hats Off bundle. I can't pick up the dies because I pulled out the dies I'm going to be using. But if you look at the samples on page 47 of our catalog, you'll see that they're fairly masculine. Great for little boys, big boys, the men in your life, that sort of thing. But we're going to make this work for our female friends and family members. So let me flip my camera around and we'll get started. And I think you're really going to like this. When I'm flipping my camera, if you would be so kind as to share this Facebook Live, I would appreciate it very much. And then we'll get started with our project. Okay, I first off want to tell you about the inspiration for this project. So many of you know that I am leaving Saturday for the Stampin' Up! Incentive trip to Maui. Super excited. I did get my COVID test with negative result back this afternoon. So I'm clear to get on the plane to Maui. And I understand they have very strict restrictions, and I completely understand why, but it's a little bit nerve-wracking. But I did get my negative test. My daughters, I typically take my daughters on the incentive trips, but Andrea is a teacher, and this is just not a good time for her to be taking off work. And then Emily just started her last year of grad school on Monday, and she's doing clinical, so that didn't work out. So I am taking Susie Brunk. Susie is, as my girls call her, the person who got me started in all this. And she is my upline. When I lived in Cincinnati, our family lived down the road from she and her husband, and we've just become really good friends. And she's excited, I'm excited. But before we leave on an incentive trip, Stampin' Up! Always sends like a little travel package, name tags and lanyards. There's luggage tags, some information about the place we're going to, a travel wallet, things like that. So it's just always a lot of fun to get that box. But one of the things they included for both me and my first guest, Susie, is a face mask. So definitely a sign of the times, right? But I love it. It's got the metal in here too, which is great because we both wear glasses. So we have that issue with our glasses steaming up. But I looked at this and of course I undid the package and I pulled out my lanyard and such, but I wanted to make it special for Susie as well. So I have her things laid out and I'm going to wrap them in a cello bag with a ribbon. And I thought, well, I need to include a card. I want to write her a note. So I'm using this mask, which is pretty much, I guess I would say, Calypso Coral and maybe some of that new Pale Papaya. So the color here and the theme of Hawaii is my inspiration for my card tonight. And then I was looking at this. So I thought, okay, we can do something fun with that. What kind of designer series paper do I have in Calypso Coral? And there are different ones. There's one in the Sweet Symmetry pack, but then I started thinking, why don't I just pull from the 6x6 DSP and make a couple hats with this? And then I got to looking at this. Susie likes that the t-shirt company that is Life is Good. And at first I thought, oh, well, I'll put that on there, you know. But then I got to thinking, we also have the Timeless Tropical bundle, which is a lot of fun too. And I thought, could we do a pineapple, a flower? And then look at this. Our friendship is timeless. Rest and relax. You deserve it. I was like, oh, these will go perfectly on as sentiments for a card. And then I was thinking, okay, what will go with, what colors would I use with the Calypso Coral? And I pulled out Coastal Cabana. Isn't it beachy and fun? Don't you just think warm weather and beach and tropical with these colors, especially throwing in that Coastal Cabana? So you are going to help me a little bit here. I'm going to ask you. And I'll just do the first person to respond. Should I use print 1, print 2, print 3, or print 4? And I'll give you a moment to respond. 1, 2, 3, or 4. Does anybody have a strong preference? I think they all would work well. You can kind of picture it like that. We'll see if your first choice is my first choice. Oh, Shanda is the first one to respond, and she says number 2. So we are going to do as Shanda says tonight. Now, I have to say, I don't know if you do this too. Do any of you have the mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine? One thing I've noticed myself doing when I open up my package of dies, whatever I'm going to use, I always like hurry. I'm like, oh, does it fit in my mini? And I would say probably 80–90% of them do. So I always get a little excited when I can use that. I know it sounds silly, but you know, I just like the convenience. It's easy for me to grab from my shelf and pull over. I'm just going to measure this. So it looks like 2 3/4. If I take the time to measure my paper, then I'm not going to be wasting so much of that. Now, the first thing I want to do is stamp. And I'm going to simply use black. Again, I wasn't sure what color to stamp the hat on, and the ties here have black on the mask. So that's why I chose black. I'm actually going to stamp on scrap paper first. I don't know if you do this, but I learned this from France Martin. She said when you get a new stamp or you're pulling it out and after not using it for a while, she said always stamp it on scrap paper first, because it just gets the stamp used to picking up the ink. And that second image is always better than the first. Okay, pretty cool, right? And then I'm going to, where's my little stamp? I'm going to stamp Life is Great. Now, help me with this, because I'm thinking, should we stamp it in white or Coastal Cabana? What would be your thought on that? Where's a little scrap of white? So a little bit of white on there, or would you go Coastal Cabana? Yes, Gigi, it is the little things. Bonnie, thanks so much for sharing. There's always this delay. So I'm waiting to see if anybody responds. I don't think so. Anybody have a thought? I think we should go Coastal Cabana. But what I want to try here is, should I stamp Coastal Cabana on Coastal Cabana, or should I stamp black on the Coastal Cabana? What will stand out a little bit? Oh, I think I'm going to go with black. Shanda says that she's struggling with that one. We're just going to try it like this. Oh, I do like how it shows up better in the black. And Bonnie says, Coastal Cabana. Oh, paper, I bet you're saying. I'm jumping ahead here with that delay. All right, so now is when I'm going to use my mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine to cut each of these out. So I'm using plate 1, my plate 2 that's always on the bottom, right? And sometimes I flip it over. Look, I have little pieces of leaves that I was cutting earlier. Then I'm going to add the ball cap. I like that this die will also put some stitching lines on the ball cap. Looks a little more, I guess I'd say authentic. Oh, looks pretty cool. Can you see the stitching in there? All that stitching. I didn't have it quite centered. Should have used my washi tape. And now I want to cut out this, I don't know what to call it, tag or whatever for the top. And put that in there just like that. I think I'll use some washi tape this time. I didn't on that, and I think it could have used it now that I see it, that one done. Now, the die set, you can cut out just these plain shapes, or you can add a second piece, and this puts in the stitching on your label or, you know, whatever you're putting on your hat. So I'm going to do that as well. But again, it's just personal preference if you want to use that part or not. And what I'm going to do is put them both through at the same time, but put some washi tape on, space them evenly all the way around, and then put some washi tape to hold the two together in place. Ooh, look how fun this is. And then it will fit in there. I love how they have the curves on all of those extra dies, so everything's proportional, just as if you would look at it, look at a ball cap. The label or whatever is not going to be perfectly straight. It's going to take the shape of the hat. So I love that they pay attention to detail like that. I think I'll pop this up with dimensionals. I think that's pretty cute. And then let's do the rest of our card. So what color do you think we should put on here? And we can do layers. You know, if you're saying a Coastal Cabana card base, we might want to put some kind of additional layer behind there. We could do white on the hat, or the white could be a layer. And we could also use the Coastal Cabana. Any preferences or thoughts on layering? I don't know if I like the white there. Shanda says adorable. You had your doubts. Is that right, Shanda? Okay, Shanda's saying Coastal Cabana for the card base. Then how about if we do a layer of, oh, that's not going to work, is it? How about if we did something like this, where we have the Coastal Cabana showing and then a layer of the Calypso Coral, which I'm looking now. That's exactly what Marty is saying. Coastal is a matte over the orange. Oh, you're saying the opposite. Okay, I see that too. Ooh, they're both pretty cool. You like the coastal as the map. Okay, we're gonna do that. And I'm going to make, oops, that's the wrong one. I wanted to show you something, a resource I have. This is something I have printed out quite a while ago that I often refer to. I also made some cards so I can try them out, and I'll repost this to my blog. I'm going to leave it right here so I remember, in case some of you no longer have it or you weren't around for that at the time. But what I'm going to do here is just kind of play with this and think, okay, I kind of like that size for my mat. And then the white, maybe we'll go 2 more. See, this is how I use that chart, just to kind of gauge sizes. So this is what I'm going to do. And of course I picked an odd number. Let me see how this fits on the 4. Oh yes, I like that. Okay, so for my white, I'm going to cut 4 inches by 2 3/4. It's just a fun little resource that I made up. And it's definitely, if you choose to make one for yourself and use it, it really comes in handy when you're designing cards. Oh, you're saying no white. Oh, you people, come on. No white. Okay. We're going to try the white. We're going to try it and see what happens, okay? 2 3/4. We can always change it. 2 3/4 by 4. Yeah, we can always change it. And I just had another thought. And I'm going to pull some scrap because I don't want to cut a card base up. And so this is 4 by 2 3/4. So this would be 3 inches by 4 1/4. And typically when I'm cutting mats and layers, I often start at using 1/4 inch dimensions, but then I can always go a little bit smaller if I want to, just like that. Okay, so let's put this on here and see what you think. What do you think about that? I like how it kind of pops on the white. Now Tracy's saying white behind the coastal cabana. You get the idea here, right? We can take these 3 colors and do absolutely any combination, and they're probably all going to work. It's just a matter of personal preference. So those of you that said the white is too stark, what do you think of that? Okay, people are agreeing with that. So let's do that. So I need to recut that one. So this I need to be 4 by 2 3/4. The nice thing about that layering resource too is it really helps you show different size frames. I like that as well. Okay, let me cut another piece of white because I want to make you all happy. That's what it's all about, right? But seriously, it is really fun to create with all of you. A lot of times I come on and I have a project already in mind, or I've created something and I'm just demonstrating how I made it. Okay, I think that looks really cool. What do you think? Now, my other thought is we could do another layer of Calypso Coral right on top of this, but emboss that layer. Any thoughts on that? Embossing a layer of Calypso Coral. I have stuff everywhere. It's crazy over here. Love it. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. Let's just use this Tasteful Textile embossing folder, and we will just emboss a piece of Calypso Coral. So we'll have like a tone on tone, but we'll have some texture to it. And honestly, what you're seeing me do now, this really is how I think when I'm creating. A lot of times it's just a matter of trying different things, trying different layers, trying different colors. You know, you think you're finished, and then you think to yourself, what more can you do? Okay, so let's try this. If we decide we don't like it, we don't have to use that layer. But I think it would be a perfect card as is. I really like that the colors pop on this. Oops, I'm not using the right thing. So for embossing, I have to use plate number 4, I believe it is. Yes, which the directions are right here, but I wasn't paying any attention to those. Absolutely right. It's all part of the fun, Shanda. And you know, I said a couple weeks ago on a Facebook Live, somebody said, "Oh, you're so creative. I wish I was that creative," something like that. And I said, really, I wasn't always this way. And sometimes I still get stumped. But the comment I made was, what people need to remember is the more you create, the more creative you become. And I really do believe that. And that's why I love Stampin' Up! So much. We have the opportunity to share and learn from each other. I have amazing people on my team. It's always fun to share with them as well. Okay, what do you think? Are we a yes to the embossed layer? I think it adds kind of fun element to it. My other thought is, should I make the white just a little smaller? I feel like the white should be a little smaller. Oh, Marty agrees with me. I love it when Marty says, "You're right, Mary." Because she's such a wonderful artist and has an artist's eyes, and I admire her work so much. So it's fun for me when I get the seal of approval from Marty. So I'm just taking this white down. Oh yeah, I think I like that better. All right, so let's put it together. You all like the embossed layer. Wonderful. Now, and I missed who said it, but after I was cutting white, somebody mentioned doing a black layer instead of the white. And you know, I think that could really work too, especially because we did the stamping in the white, or in the black and the white. And I had not thought of the black, but I really do think that would be an awesome choice also, to have a tiny black border going around that instead of the white. Which means we might just have to make a second card. Okay, what do you think? I think it looks pretty good. Oh no, you're saying black would have been cool. Too bad we didn't all. Who said that? If you're watching and you're the person who said that, please say, that was my idea. Black was my idea. I want to know because I missed catching the name of that person. And I thought, here you are, gave out this great idea, and nobody else thought of it. I just had dimensionals out and I don't know where I put them. So I'll grab some more. These just happen to be black. Sharon, okay. Sharon, we're going to make another one. And we're going to use a black layer because I'm picturing that now and it sounds so striking. Okay, I think it needs one more thing here. What do you think? Could we use something more on the hat? Can you guess what I'm thinking? Oh, good night, sweet Lily. What do you think I'm thinking of here? I'm surprised one of you haven't said it first. It needs some bling, right? Do you think we should add a little bit of bling? Some rhinestones there? I think we should. Yeah, those are a little big. I'm thinking the small rhinestones might just do the trick. And we've got gold. Well, that would be bedazzling. Oh, look, we have black. So if we make another one with black, maybe we can do something with these. We'll leave those out. I think I am liking the rhinestones the best. So let's go with that. And then on our second one, we'll use the matte black. Now I'm going to have to give away 2 cards. So I hope you're commenting a lot. I hope you're sharing. Oh, let's do this. We'll put a large rhinestone at the top there. Now, would you go a line of small rhinestones right here? Or maybe down this way? You're probably going to tell me both, is what I'm thinking. It's not the same size. I wonder if any of you know the demonstrator, Dawn Griffith. In fact, I saw she and her husband are already in Hawaii. They added on to their trip and flew in early. So they're already enjoying the Hawaiian weather and culture. But Dawn wears caps a lot of times, and hers are always blinged out. So this is making me think of her. That's kind of a lot of rhinestones. Let's see. I don't know. This might be a little too much bling for me. What are you guys thinking? Is there a thing? Is that a thing? Too much bling? Whoops. Didn't press hard enough. Does it need to go around there? I think it does. That looks a little funky. Like unfinished to me. But maybe the bling would only be at the brim. I don't know. Maybe the bling should only be on the brim. Okay, what do you think? Cindy says she likes bling, but that is too much bling for her. I agree. I think it's just a little much for me. Anybody like it with that much bling? Okay, we're not going to take them off. We're going to keep on going. Some of you are saying you love it. It's cute. Yeah, it's a little bit too much bling for my taste, but there's certainly nothing wrong. It's just a matter of personal preference. And you know what? That's another way we learn and become more creative too, by stepping out of our box. As soon as I said that, I thought, why did I say that? That is so not me to use that much bling. But you know what? It works. And many of you are saying that you love it and you think it's really cute. So, you know, that's a good reminder for me to step outside my box a little. All right, how about if we make another one? So I'll give this card away, and then I'll also give away the second card, and then I'll have to make another one for Susie, right? Okay, so where did here's my big stamp. Oh, I love seeing so many names on here. Kimberly, Bonnie, Kathy, Sharon, Joan. And what did I do with my scrap? There it is. Once again, I will stamp. We could do a number one. Does anybody want to be? Should we do the same thing or do the number one? Life is Great or number one fan? While I'm waiting for an answer, I'm going to go ahead and cut this piece out. Shanda says she can't wait to see this one. Oh, Life is Great. Okay. That's what we will do. Oops. I do need this one more time, don't I? Oh, here's my little stitch die. Once again, because I'm using both the cutting die and that stitched embossing die, I want to be sure that I have these evenly spaced, the small one and the large one. And then I'll hold them together with the washi tape while they go through the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. Don't forget to line up all those plates. Have your sandwich plates all lined up. Okay. And then we need to cut some cardstock for our various layers. So once again, my card base is Calypso Coral. I'm cutting it at 5.5 inches. Oops, it already is, but it does need to be scored at the 4.25 mark on the long side. And then I'm cutting a piece of the same color, and we will emboss this with the Tasteful Textile embossing folder. And for embossing with large embossing folders, you do need to use the Big Boss, the big Stampin' cut and emboss machine. Remember that when you're using your embossing folders, you always want the folded end to go in first. If you don't, it can actually break apart into two pieces or crack this, and then you don't get the nice embossed impressions that you want. Now this time, I'm going to have to reach behind me and pull out some black. First I'll cut this piece. And I need this to be 2 3/4 by 4 inches again. And then for the black, we need, that's going to be perfect, 2 7/8 by 4 1/8, just to give us a nice small border. Don't say anything yet, but when we're all finished, I'm interested to see which is a favorite for everybody. Will you choose card number 1 or card number 2? Either way, I think they're both awesome. But it's just kind of interesting, and you know, a change in one small detail can give the next card a whole different look. The folded end, the fold of the embossing folder should go in first, Cindy. The folded end always goes in first. And yes, I did break an embossing folder. Actually, it was this year, just a few months ago. Actually, shortly after I got that a Tasteful Textile embossing folder. That's a new one because, and I know that that's the way I'm supposed to do it, fold in first, but I was hurrying and not paying attention, and I heard a crack, and I knew exactly what I had done. But I love that embossing folder too much not to replace it. Okay, now also on the first card, I popped this up on dimensionals. I'm kind of liking it better flat. Or maybe if I had just lifted it up like double glue dots, maybe. That's kind of in between flat and dimensionals. All right, now for the black matte dots, where would you suggest we put the black matte dots? Do you want them on the hat or maybe off in the corner a little bit? Did I cut this? Yeah, I did. It's interesting because I'm looking at these. This is up, standing up in front of me, and I thought, I didn't cut those layers the same, but putting them side by side, I did. But again, I think it's the black giving it a different, just a different look. 3 on the rim of the hat. 1, 2, 3. Is that what you're thinking? I feel like I definitely want one up at the top. And these are kind of thick. Let's see how this fat one is. I'm going to try the smaller size. The matte black dots come in 2 sizes. On the rim. I'm reading. That's what the delay is. I'm reading your comments here. Towards the front together. Okay, I see. So a large one or small one at the top? Oops, I can't get that one turned the right direction. Just grab another. Is that what you're thinking? Large. Yes, up the side, right here. Is that what you're thinking? When you say side, do you mean side of the hat? I'll put a large one there. This would have been a good on Zoom. You guys have so much input. I'm trying to keep up with the comments. Yeah, I don't know. One on top and one on each side of the label. Yep, we can try that out. You guys are cracking me up. What if we did on each corner of the label? Do you like that? To me, that maybe they're just a little too much for me. You guys are cracking me up. I'm not loving it. Let's try a small one at the top of the hat. Just the one at the top. That's kind of what I'm leaning towards, just the one at the top. And then I thought, what if we just do something like this? Put a few in this corner, kind of fill in that corner a little. Whoops, that's got some of my putty on it. Joan, that's it. A bow. I'm not even liking this in the corner. Maybe if I had them straight, I don't know. I kind of like it straight better, but I think it takes away from the hat. I'm going to have to take those off because I won't be able to live with that. Let me see. Oh, Joan, you are going to love this. Look what I have. Look what I have. What do we even call this? The black organdy, glittered organdy ribbon. Brilliant. Something I definitely did not think of. Oh, look, you're all saying yes. Black bow. Who had the idea? Another was, the comments are just going crazy tonight, which is good. I'm glad. And you all have such great ideas to share. I love, this is the best part of crafting, is the sharing. Somebody had the idea that these would make good cards for women going through chemo. And I happen to know somebody I went to grade school with. We grew up in the same neighborhood. She is going through breast cancer treatment right now, and she's lost all her hair. And I was just thinking about her today, that I need to send another card out to Kathleen. Okay, so now the question is going to be, I'm almost afraid to ask. The question is going to be, Joan. Okay, that was you, Joan Sheffy. Okay. And you are going through that now too. Oh, Joan, I will definitely keep you in my prayers, and I pray for complete healing for you. This ribbon is called Glitter Organdy Ribbon. Okay, here's the question of the day. Do you want it below that label, or do you want it at the top instead of the black matte dot? Joan, thank you for sharing that with us. Truly, I will keep you in my prayers. So it could be at the top, could be right over here. I kind of like it there too. Life is good. Okay, Joan, I'm going with your suggestion, bottom right corner. I also like below the label. I think either one would work really well. Maybe even like that, kind of accenting the label on the hat. All right, so the question of the day, ladies, is this. And I think they're both great cards. I like the way both of them turned out. I like all of the input and the sharing of ideas. I will definitely be making more. Of course, I have to give these two away now, but I will make one tonight for Susie so I can put her package. I even found some kind of pineapple candies that I ordered online that are supposed to be delivered tomorrow to put in her package. All right, tell me, left or right? Which is your favorite, first or second? You know, I'm not sure. I'll have to look in our new catalog to see if that ribbon carried over. I sure hope so, because I love it. Oh, look at you guys. All the rights. Shanda says the left. Okay. Gigi and Sharon say both. I want to look up, because somebody asked the name of that ribbon. I want to see if it's still current. I'm not sure that it is. It is. Yay. Awesome. I love that ribbon so much. I used it at Halloween time, but I've used it more since then. It's just pretty, it's elegant, it has the right amount of sparkle and shimmer to it, and it's just a good size to work with too, that 3/8 inch. Alrighty, I am going to be giving these cards away, and I'm going to say goodnight for now. On Friday, I plan to go live at 2 p.m. Susie Brunk, who's going with me on the incentive trip, will be here. We're going to spend the day stamping and creating together. So I have to finish my packing before she gets here Friday morning. But perhaps, I don't know what we'll do, but I'm going to get her to do a Facebook Live with me. She'll be on board. She doesn't know it yet, but she'll be on board. Okay, have a wonderful Wednesday evening. I hope to see you back with me on Friday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and look for the names in the next hour to see who won tonight's cards. All right. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Thanks for your sharing. Thanks for your support. You guys made tonight fun. You really, really did. And Wednesdays at 8 to 9 is about when my brain is starting to shut down. And today, you just made it so fun. Thank you so much for your participation. Have a good night.